Hello and welcome to Joys of Data, data science for curious people. In this video I want to visualize some COVID data from 2020, the start of 2020. So I have imported these three packages, readr, ggplot, and dplyr. Created my object, cases worldwide. So in my working directory you can see I've got cases worldwide.csv. I obtained these from data camp, so I'm assuming that it is legit. So let's take a look at it. There we go. The date, cumulative cases, head, cases worldwide, tail. So this is the bottom of it. So we can see it goes down to 17th of the 3rd, 2020. So it starts off 22nd of the 1st. So it's January. So it's from 22nd of January through to 17th January, February, March of March. So it's the beginning of 2020, the beginning of when this whole thing happened. So this is it here. Let's just plot this. So ggplot. So this is the ggplot function, and then the ggplot function, you want to start off by identifying your data frame. So this is called cases worldwide, and then you want to use this function to define x and y, which in this case we're going to do date and cumulative cases. So that is our sort of source ready. Now we want to add in our first layer, so geom line. So you should see over here, that's what it looks like. So from February 1st through to March 15th, or just after that, it's the 17th, we see the cases rising, dipping, rising, dipping, rising, dipping. Oh, rising, dipping, rising, dipping, and then rising. We cannot see what's past that. Let's just let's take a look at geom point. So it's just, this is just a different way of seeing our data. Here we're seeing points, so much the same. And then geom smooth. It just smooths it out for us, and we see a nice smooth geom smooth. Oh, okay, yes. Forget that. I will come back to geom smooth in a minute. Let's go back to geom line. Geom smooth requires some other arguments. Okay, so here we go. So here we see it rising, our cases. Now, it's something just interesting to note as a data science, or whoever you are watching this video, that whenever you take a look at graphs and charts, you have to be kind of skeptical, because you don't know where this data is coming from. How legitimate is this data? So with these cases, you know, here we're rising up to what, that's 200,000. We have 50,000 cases worldwide. Where does this data come from? Was it properly taken? How confirmed are these cases? Are these confirmed cases? But even the confirmed cases, how are they legitimately confirmed? Because we know that the COVID tests don't always work 100%. My mother, for instance, my parents had a test. My mother was positive. My father was negative. They had another test. My mother was negative. My father was positive. So what are they? So we can be a little bit, in a sort of healthy scientific way, we can be skeptical, cynical of this. That's always good in science, to question, where is this data coming from? How legitimate is it? But if we assume, you know, even if 50% of this is correct, you know, we're still having 100,000 cases worldwide of COVID here. So let's say, but anyways, let's just keep going with this data. So what I want to do now is I actually want to add in another line. I want to add in the geom smooth, and I'm going to actually smooth, but the arguments that I'm going to need to add, I'm going to add the method argument, and I'm going to add the linear model, and then sc is equal to false. So what this should do is, okay, so can you see this blue line? It's just added this blue line. So what that's basically done is that has just, it gives us an idea of the gradient of the actual data. So we see, I mean, if we extrapolate this line down here, we're looking at sort of like 45 degrees. So we see that the rate of change of the cases from 0 to, what's that, 150,000 or a little bit less, we see quite an exponential move in the data over these 3 months. So that's what that line has just showed us there. Okay, I want to now take a look at another one of these data sets. Let's go back to my files. I want to take a look at the one cases by country. So cases, or let me just call it cases by country. This is my cases by country object, and I'm going to read CSV cases by country. And let's quickly take a look at that. Head cases by country. So here we go. So we've got country, province, date, cases, cumulative cases. Now, this data set is quite interesting because what it's basically got, it's got the countries repeated over and over and over again. So we see, for instance, I have taken a look at this data. I mean, here we can actually take a look at it here. You see, these countries are being repeated at each date. So here we have 22nd of the 1st, and then if we go down, we'll have 23rd of the 1st. Here we go, 23rd of the 1st. We're back to Afghanistan on the 23rd of the 1st. So Afghanistan, we got 238 sort of countries or provinces, because here we've got some US, we have a few of their states. So it's just sort of a wide collection of places in the world and the cases. So Afghanistan, on the 23rd of January, it still had 0 cases, which is interesting. But in the USA, there was, according to this data set, 1. Okay, let's keep going. So what I would like to do next is I want to find the sort of top few countries. So I want to basically group this data set and know, okay, which were those cases that had the highest. So let's just call this top countries. Just call it top countries. So cases by country was my first one. Then I want to group by country. So I'm now going to be aggregating the data into groups, group by country, and then summarize. And I'm going to summarize, let's just call it cases is equal to max. So I'm going to find the maximum cumulative cases, and then top n, and that n will be 7, and it's cases. So what this is going to do here is cases country, cases by country, cases by country. So now let's actually call this top countries. So here we see over here top countries. Oh, I just picked one. Let's do 10. Let's actually do the top 10 countries. Let's run that again, that function. Okay, here we go. So according to this data set, up until the, what was it, January, March the 17th, France had 7,699 cases. Germany had 9,000. Iran had 16,000. Italy had 31,000. Spain had 11,000. Netherlands, Switzerland, United Kingdom, and the USA. So these are these guys here. So that's quite interesting to see. So what I've just done there is I've filtered this data set to take a look at the maximum amount. So let's plot this, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to plot a bar chart. So again, ggplot, and the data frame is cases. It's not cases by country, it's top countries. Top countries. AES, and it was country and cases. So let's do countries on the X and cases on the Y. And then plus, and then what I want to do is geom bar. So it's a bar chart. Geom bar stat equals identity. So this will now plot a bar chart, and in this bar chart we can see that Italy had the highest number of cumulative cases by February the 31st. So cumulative meaning that they're all added together. And then we see that Iran comes next, Spain, United Kingdom, USA. Let's just add in one more element to this, and that's the labels. So labs, title equals, let's say the title could be cases by country, and then let's add in X is equal to country, and then Y is equal to cases. And there you have it. So here is our bar chart showing the various cases of COVID by country over that few period. Now, I just want to end off this video just making an important point to make is whenever you're analyzing data, whenever you're representing data, you have to clearly explain to people the shortfalls of data. And a couple of questions arise as I take a look at this data. Firstly, how legitimate is this data? Was it properly gathered? Are these cases confirmed? Like, are they confirmed? You know, not just confirmed once, but confirmed many times. And so it would be a few things. The second one that I think, which I see over here, if I just go back to this one here, is, you know, how long, or you know, how many months past this date is this one going to rise? Because here's the one data of only relying on data science and models with countries, is that we don't know where the data is going to go. We can only show what happened in the past, and so it can be dangerous to make policies purely based on data. And I say this as someone, I work with data all the time, and I love data science. I think data science is very powerful, but I see the shortcomings is that we sometimes get it wrong, and it's difficult to always predict where this is going to go. I would have to find other data to see where we are now, to see what this looks like now. But if I go back a year to January, February, March, April of 2020, and I had to plot this a year ago, these are the kinds of questions I would be thinking about, is where is it going to go? Can we accurately say it's going to rise? And what are those factors that are influencing its rise? So there are many questions that you have to ask, and I think as a data scientist and someone working with data, these are things that we have to consider. Okay, so that's done for this video, and I'm going to include the code below you so that you can also plot some of your own charts. I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye for now.